So, as you probably know, the whole country is currently on lockdown. Like, not even a country, like the whole world is on a lockdown. And therefore, we have a lot of time. I don't, but I know that a lot of people do. And there's also an e-learning going on, like, around the globe. So I just thought that I might be your beloved teacher cat for today, and we're going to be talking about some really cool stuff. Because actually, I was inspired to make this video by a Polish YouTuber named MARVECC, who uploaded 4-part documentary of all the history of League of Legends, and boy, oh boy, it was awesome. I know that not all of you will probably be able to watch this video because obviously it's in Polish, but I hope I'll maybe even with his help, with his approval, I'll make the same, or very much the same, video in English, so you can enjoy, because I have no idea if there probably is, but I never seen a video in English about the history of League of Legends. I only saw it in Polish, and it's really, really awesome, and may I say, it blew my mind. However, I do think that even though the whole history of League of Legends is really cool and really awesome, and so it has great potential, like really, I was blown away by how detailed and actually really living this world actually is. The thing that we get in game is just a top of an iceberg of this everything that is happening or happened in the past. And I would actually think that it would be a really cool RPG game. I love RPG games because you can get a lot of story of those, and I'm a sucker for a good story. So I really think that League of Legends or Runeterra, or however you call it, might be actually a really good base for an RPG game, and I'm really hyped for it because I know that they probably will make something like this. So this whole series on MARVECC's channel was about the book, League of Legends Realms of Runeterra, which is awesome. When I first heard about the book, I was like, really? Do you want to make money on that? Like, it should be available for everyone. You do not charge people to pay for knowledge, like, over the game. But here's the thing. Like, I really do love the history of League of Legends. I really do think that it's really amazing. But the thing that bugs me is there's the game and there's the story. And you do not interfere the game with the story, because most of the players, most of the League of Legends fans do not care about the story that much. Like, I love lore, I love stories, I'm all for RPG aspect and everything. I love me a good story, okay? But I know that I am like 1%, maybe not even 1% of the game. Like, I'm just me, and there's millions of other players that just care about the next pentakill on Yasuo. That's okay, because that's what the game is for. But I see a great potential universe of League of Legends. I was shocked because I thought it's really shallow and like plastered all around the place, but actually it is really, really good and well thought. But we don't see this that much in game, and that is what today's video is going to be, because I wish I didn't have to start every video by saying that, oh, Riot did an oopsie, did something bad, or they just don't get it, and all the negative things. It's not that I hate Riot and I hate League of Legends, it's the other way around. But I'm kind of disappointed by seeing how the universe of League of Legends is actually portrayed in the game, or is it touched in the game? I don't know how to say it, but I think you get me, you get my drill. I was just really like disappointed, maybe disappointed but not surprised. I know that they cannot like push every single resource that they have into building this universe, because it's not what gets people, most of them, to play, is the gameplay. That's why they focus on gameplay and skins more than the actual story behind it. But there's me, who loves a good story and is actually really obsessed about this. And you know, I was like preparing this video because we've had a conversation with the content creator, and we both were kinda like tired, okay? I don't know how to put it in words.
NANI?
Excuse me?
An ally has been slain.
Even like super disappointed. I'm more like tired because we've been seeing the same things over and over again in League of Legends. I've already recorded a video on Lux and about her situation, how she's heavily favored in the game. She's not the only one, because there's also Zed and Darius, but I might like make another video on that. Today I want to talk about the favorism in regions. Okay, so we have 13 regions so far, and maybe like 2, 3, maybe 4 of them are really well explained and really well executed in game. You know what I'm going to say, but there's like a lot of things that you see in the game is based on a certain region. What I mean by that is that Ionia, as much as I like this region and I think it's really cool, gets a lot of the attention. A lot of resources are put into like building Ionia since a year, I don't know. You know, when this whole looks frenzy started, there was DEMACIA. There are some regions that get a lot of attention and they are put in the spotlight, while the other regions that I find interesting are like completely, maybe not forgotten, but you know, they're there, but there's nothing much coming out of this. There's not much coming in for them. Like, I don't know if you get my drill, but I hope you do. And I think that we can all agree on the fact that Ionia is really favored, DEMACIA is really favored. Noxus is like, there's Darius, who gets a lot of attention, who gets a lot of things coming for him, but the Noxus himself is not that much talked about. Like, the outbreak in DEMACIA put this region back to life. Before we had Ionia and this whole Ionia versus Noxus, and the Vastaya came out, was trailered, was put into the game, and it really breathed life into this game, into this region. We have Ionia, DEMACIA, Freljord, and maybe a little bit of Noxus right now, and that's it. We have Ionia, DEMACIA, Noxus, Freljord, Shurima, Shadow Isles, Zone, Piltover, Bilgewater, Ishtal, The Void, Bundle City, and Targon. And you know, when I was watching MARVECC's channel and MARVECC's story, like the history of League of Legends, I think that the regions has so colorful, so powerful history, all of them, and we don't know that. If I didn't watch this YouTube channel, these videos on this YouTube channel, I wouldn't know. I would have no idea. And I know that you can say, but you always like could do it. You could always search for it. It's not like Riot is ought to make everything really like plain and simple so everyone can see. But I'm talking about a casual player experience. You care about champions, their stats, their gameplay, how it all turns out. For some people it's not that important, the history of a region, you know. We had history in our schools and it wasn't my favorite school subject. I was always like thinking that it's really boring, the way that they wanted us to remember dates or anything. I was like, ugh. But this time I really think that it is important. And what I mean by that, you can see I've actually went into the Universe website to see, because as I recall correctly, there are a lot of comic books coming out. You know, I was dragging the Lux comic book on my previous video. You know about that because I made it clear that I really am like jealous. But it's not the only one comic book that came out. We had actually a lot of them in Ionia, because there's a Z series. Varys had 2 one-shot stories, Nami had a one-shot story. So you can see that it's a region with the most champions, and it's really... I knew, before I really started digging, I really started like, you know, watching the things and reading about this, I knew a lot about Ionia, but I didn't know anything about other regions like at all. And they really have a colorful history, and it's really unfair. I love Piltover, and I really think that this region gets too little attention, little to nothing. Like how shallow it is, because the last champion that came out and was like told to be from Piltover was Camille, and she got released like a few years back, okay? So that's really how it is. It really shows that it's not how we would like it to be. And I know that it's never going to be fair, and it's never going to be like everyone gets a fair share. It's life. But I really think that it has a great potential. Oh, I got it now. Camille was released at the 12th of December 2016. Almost 4 years back, and nothing. No new champion, no update. I am extremely biased when it comes to Piltover, because that's where Oriana comes from, and I'm gonna make a video about Oriana because I really think that she is the most tragic, like this is the most robbed and most mistreated female champion in League of Legends, but we'll get to that. Also, it was brought to my mind about the Targon, how Targon is like not even there, while it's like the most important region in League of Legends. When I saw this video that I'm always talking about all the time in this video, when I saw this video and I saw how important Targon is, everything happened in Targon before anything else happened. And you know, we have the war between the Lunari and Solari, and it's basically like cosmic energy and cosmic people, and I'm just like, it blows my mind because nobody really sells anything about this, and I'm like, why? It's so good. I know that the things that Riot does to the regions are based on the popularity of champions. So we cannot really put the blame on them that people do not like certain sets of champions, and therefore they're not like pushing resources into the things that will not give them that much profit back. So I'm not gonna be really like bitchy about it. I'm just gonna have a conversation with you because I think it's really important to know the history of League of Legends and to know how much the regions are impacting the story and how awesome the story is, because I was really blown away by this. It's really like cool. Also, like Shadow Isles. Have you seen Shadow Isles? I think they're kind of cool, you know? I know the story now. I'm not gonna spoil it to you. Search for yourself. But I think it's really like, it was the Blessed Isles and now they are Shadow Isles with a lot of like spiritual energy, undead, oh that's a better word, with a lot of undead champions, like the ghost wandering around. It's really cool, and I really like the champions that come from Shadow Isles. I just want to quickly mention that the last champion that came from Shadow Isles is Callista in 2014. 6 years, everybody. 6 years with no new champion. And I know there's like a Mordekaiser rework, an Evelyn rework, which kind of like, you know, we can say that there was something going on Shadow Isles because those champions were updated, okay? But I don't really think that counts, because if we want to breathe life, like an actual life into a region, we have to put work and we have to put a new champion there so we can explain the story even more. Even though it's not that good of a habit to really explain the story and unravel the story and update it every time a new champion comes out, because there are so many plot holes already that I really think that did not match. But I'm gonna make a video about it as well, because I really do think that it's a mess, but it has a great potential. That's why I think it's worth fighting for. It's worth talking about it, because if we talk about it, they might like consider it and do something about it, and I would really like that. So yeah, we have a forgotten regions, which is Targon. It's really cool. When we talk about this, I really think that champions that come from Targon are really robbed, and they're like basically cosmic entities that are super powerful, and if that's not epic, I don't know what is. Next we have Shadow Isles, that I've spoken just yet about them, which is also really cool with the undead champion and the Black Mist. We know a lot about this because of Senna, but Senna is actually not from Shadow Isles. We do know something more about Shadow Isles because of her. Well, how she talks about Black Mist and how it is to live within it. And I love Senna to death, and I really think she's a cool champion, but it's still too less in my opinion. You may disagree, you have the right to do so. Next we have Shurima, which is an my brain has stopped working. Shurima had Talia in May 2016, so it's almost 4 years with no real champion, and I really do think that Shurima is really important, and the history of Shurima is so cool. The whole banter between Azir and Zerath is really cool, and when I was just watching this story and I was like, this is so awesome, we should make a TV series on that, and it will sell in millions of copies. So yeah, we had nothing new coming to Shurima other than Kiana telling them that they had nothing more than sand and ghosts, which I partly agree on that, because you know, there's nothing much going on there. They're basically just sand and ghosts, even though Azir was reborn and is now waiting for his revenge on Zerath, so I would love to see it, really, it would be cool. And yeah, and Zone, with Echo coming out in 2015, which gives us almost 5 years with no new champions from Zone. And I really think that Zone is one of the most interesting regions in League of Legends, because the difficulty that the people in Zone experience on daily basis is unbelievable to me. And also, without Zone, there will be no Piltover, no rich people of progress. So I really think it's worth mentioning, and it's worth like giving them credit for their hard work, because I don't think they get any, and it's really, really toxic and interesting region, and I would like to see how the story unravels and how it like goes from this point on. We also have champions that, in my opinion, and I strongly like put emphasis on this, in my opinion, do not match the regions they come from. And on the pedestal, on like first place in my opinion, is Jhin. I don't think Jhin belongs to Ionia. I don't know why did he like end up in Ionia, because it was the country of law and order, and his psychotic episodes and psychotic killing put them in shock. But is it really the same outcome we would get if, for example, Jin started killing in Piltover, which is also the region and the country of like progress, law, order. We have Caitlyn, we have Vi, so it is really strongly emphasized that it is a country, it is a region, however you call it, where the law is really, really important. And then we see an outlaw like Jin who just goes around, starts killing people for art, which I don't really think is a thing in Piltover. Like, they do have art, but they're more focused on, you know, chemtech and progress. Yeah, I don't think that Jin really belongs to Ionia, but here's the same thing that I said when I was talking about Lux. Jin was put in Ionia so he can have beef with Shen and Zed and enhance their story. It's as easy as that. I was really like, when Jin was coming out, I was so sure he's going to be from Piltover, because have you seen his limbs, like his artificial limbs? I know that Riot said that he has no limb missing, that it's all into this, but I don't really believe this, because have you seen his legs? They're like really, really thin, almost like there's no meat and there's no skin in there, it's just bone. I don't know, maybe I'm like overreaching and, you know, it's not like that, but I kind of feel like Jin does not match Ionia, either with clothes, with the champion design, or with their story. But he was put there so he can enhance the story of Shen and Zed. And I'm really disappointed in this fact, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put on YouTube a Jin analysis and how do I feel about his story, his design and everything, because I really think he's one of the most interesting champions in League of Legends. But also let's talk about my main, which is Janna. She also doesn't really match Zone. I know that she's put there because she keeps people in Zone safe and they can actually pray to her, so she helps them. And I get it, but it's really like when you see her champion design, I don't really think that she matches the region. I know that I'm nitpicking, okay? I know that I'm really not really consistent with my opinions and everything, but I do think that she doesn't match there, and she probably would be better off somewhere else. But you are entitled to have your opinion, okay? And there's this Maokai, which was the most shocking for me, that he is on Shadow Isles. I thought, my dead ass thought that he's from Ionia because, you know, the forests there and everything. I was so sure that he's from Ionia. Then I come into the universe and he's from Shadow Isles because he fights Void. What? Like, what? Blew my mind so much. And it kind of makes sense and it's kind of cool if you ask me, but it's still like really, really weird to me. And I don't really think that it has as much potential as they thought it would be, but maybe they know better than I do. There's also this beef that I don't understand about Nami and Vestaya in like general, because back in the days it was just Ionia, Noxus, Demacia, blah 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 blah, and there were no real racists in there. And then Xayah and Rakan came out, and they were said to be a Vestaya, a new race that is actually in Ionia somewhere in their forests. They were Vestayan, and I remember that back in the days where Xayah and Rakan were released, Riot actually said that all the non-human, human animal hybrids are Vestaya. So we had Rengar, also a Vestaya. We had Nami, also being a Vestaya. And I remember that really, really correctly. And yesterday, we were like researching. We were like on a universe website, and what did we see? We saw that actually after Kiana came out, Rengar, Nami, Nico, they are not from Ionia, they're from Ishtal. I'm like, when did that happen? I remember that I was like, because Nami is my main and I kind of care about her. So I remember that even in the game there was a tip that Nami is one of the Morai, which is like Vastaya cousin or something like this. It really shows how confusing this history of League of Legends is, because when there is a new champion coming out, everything changes. Everything that you knew and you're like sure of is getting changed without like really much notice. I wouldn't know that Nami is no longer in Ionia, or Rengar is no longer a Vastaya, or maybe he is a Vastaya but he's living in a different region. I was like, what's going on? And there are so many things that I want to say, but I don't think that it changes anything. I want you to know that I really love League of Legends. I really see a potential in League of Legends, but I think that we should put our gamers' emphasis, like the fans' emphasis on Riot Games, that we want more, if we want more, because I do want more. And I think that the regions should be discovered more and should be, I don't know how to say it, they should put more work into the regions, because I feel like it is really worth it. It's really worth it for us to explore more. I'm really like interested, what do you think about the history of League of Legends? What do you think about the region resources distribution, and how do you feel about this whole situation at all? So as always, I'm waiting for you in the comments down below about, I really want a discussion, not hate and spewing hate at each other. No, I want a discussion about what do you think, and am I right, am I wrong, or do you not care? You just care about the gameplay. Tell me about it, because I'm really interested. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!